A woman rescued kitten siblings only to discover that one of them has a rare condition. Kittens are incredibly cute, making it tempting to adopt them on the spot. Their adorableness is the first thing that appeals to us, especially when they're tiny kittens. When cat more single white fur strands were appearing in her coat too. Before long, Ellie had a salt and pepper coat. Her fur was beginning to look like the hair of an aging human, but she was just a kitten, so what could be causing this? Nicole continued to watch as Ellie transformed before her eyes. Most cats enjoy spending much of their time lounging around, stretched out on the sunlit carpet or curling up on the couch. Ellie enjoyed that too, but she also liked to do a bit of exploring. Even as her fur changed, Ellie was still climbing on her kitty toys and venturing about the backyard. Her eyes were wide open and she wasn't sleeping extra long or looking like she needed medical attention. Regardless, Nicole decided it was time to take her into the vet. Nicole brought her nearly white kitten into the veterinary office, explaining that Ellie had been born a tuxedo cat. The changes that had been subtle progressed over time, so that it was now blaringly obvious that something was affecting Ellie's fur. The kitten was diagnosed with vitiligo. The disease causes a loss of pigmentation due to the destruction of melanocytes. Melanocytes are the cells that give hair and skin their unique pigment. These cells form melanin, a dark brown to black pigment influenced by people's genes. The disorder can occur in all kinds of species, including dogs, humans, and even reptiles. The loss of pigment happens in blotches, and the extent and rate is unpredictable. Researchers know very little beyond it having to do with certain genes. For animals who had naturally blotchy fur like this St. Bernard mix, the disease can make their fur look even more unique. Since we're used to seeing these dogs with varied fur colors and tones, the whites really embellish the look. While humans don't have fur, often the skin is impacted for those who have vitiligo. The disease doesn't have any negative health effects, but can impact self-esteem. That's why it's so important that models like this one help to normalize the unique look. The most common kind is generalized vitiligo, which occurs on both sides of the body symmetrically. Other kinds impact one side or just a small part of the body. It usually appears before the age of 20 and only exists in 0.5 to 1% of the population. Nicole told Love Meow that Ellie was incredibly cuddly and affectionate, which made her think that the cat was more like a dog. Even as her fur changed, her loving demeanor remained the same. Since the cat doesn't feel any discomfort, it doesn't have anything to worry about. In fact, the vitiligo is nothing compared to when Nicole first found the cats. She reports that the vet told her they were riddled with mites and ear infections. As far as Ellie is concerned, she's never felt better. Rosie still loves hanging around her sister even if they don't look the same anymore. Like Ellie, Rosie seems to not have noticed a difference in Ellie. Animals tend to be less reliant on their sight than humans are. At the end of the day, she knows that's her sister. It must be odd looking to start out looking exactly like your sister, only to grow up and take on your own unique look. However, humans do this all the time. Unlike animals, we have fashion and makeup to express our own characters. In a sense, vitiligo was the only way that Ellie could become truly distinguishable from her sister. While Ellie appears to not have a care in the world about the color of her coat, some of her confidence has to be chalked up to her owner, Nicole. The loving cat owner told Love Meow that Ellie looks like a little snow owl. Her positive outlook is likely to register to the cat since animals are so sensitive to humans' moods, particularly of their owners. Some would even say that Ellie's coat looks better with the vitiligo since it sets her apart from the average tuxedo cat. Nicole decided to record Ellie's transition on social media. The adorable cat gained tons of followers, especially from people who have vitiligo. Some feel insecure about their skin having blotches of white and brown. However, seeing the cute cat is a reminder that different can be beautiful. Ellie's owner posts various before and after photos to celebrate Ellie's new snowflake coat. The before and afters show how different her fur is, but also reveal how much her sweet character has stayed the same. When Rosie and Ellie are beside each other, it almost feels like you're looking at a before and after of Ellie. The cats have the same eyes and used to have the same fur too. However, Rosie appears to be a little bit chunkier than her playful sister. Rosie also has a small black spot on one side of her nose, and her black fur comes down more on one side of her mouth than the other. Her lack of symmetry shows that neither cat is perfect, but that makes them all the more uniquely adorable. Unlike many other species, cats only take 1 year to reach their full maturity. Some cats will continue to grow at a very slow rate, taking 18 months to mature. However, the change in Ellie's fur is unpredictable and may continue throughout her life. The pictures do reveal that the change in Ellie's coat seems to be slowing down, just like her growth is slowing down. Though her coat is now more white than black, it's likely that she'll always have a bit of black fur to maintain her signature look. This progress photo that Nicole made shows how Ellie's vitiligo progressed in a short span of time. In the first photo, she is only slightly smaller than she is in the third photograph, but her fur is significantly darker. The middle photo shows an Ellie that is very similar to the last photo, but the fur on her arm consists of slightly more black fur, as does the space above her left eye. Today, even the darker parts of her first appear more gray on her body than black. Ellie's hind legs, her mouth, and some of her chest has always been white. However, this previously contrasted the deep black of her coat that covered most of her body. Now her body is significantly more white. The white fur, with its subtle hints of dark fur, give the illusion that her coat is a light gray color. However, the fur on her face still has very dark parts of it. Additionally, her ears are almost entirely black as ever, creating a pattern that definitely makes her stand out among other cats. The older cat adores sitting on ledges, including the windowsill and even on top of the door when it's open. Being that Ellie and her sister were found in a barn, it makes sense that they have a deep comfort of being outside. It's reassuring that Ellie hasn't lost her sense of adventure. Some humans who have vitiligo are embarrassed to go outside due to the social stigma of their skin. Animals like Ellie show one way that humans can learn from their demeanor. After looking more closely at Rosie, you can tell that the before and after photos of Ellie are authentic. In this one, Ellie has the all-white nose that distinguishes her from her sister in both photographs, and she looks slightly more slender than Rosie. You can also tell that both photos are the same cat by that adorable little nose and the slant in her eyes. These comparison photos help remind us that the cat is still the same even after her fur has grown lighter. Nicole rarely posts photos of herself on Ellie's Instagram and Facebook. Omitting herself helps keep the attention on Ellie, who she clearly thinks the world of. This photo shows the love and affection that Nicole feels towards the kitten she saved. Scaredy cats would not let you grip them this tightly, but Ellie's paws are relaxed as her owner embraces her. Their loving relationship shows that Ellie has managed to trust Nicole despite her rocky start in life, and that Nicole has earned that trust by showering the unique cat with love.